My name, my given name, is Matthew Sean Ewing. It's time that we finished up the functionality series. Through this series, I've been attempting to convey what I've perceived as operational or the functional parameters of this, what we call reality, this light weave. It functions through the simplex becoming the complex. And the way that that happens, the bridge that you take to get to it is symbolic, it's metaphoric. Simplex to complex happens by simplex understanding its own unique nature and then sort of imagining possibilities for reconstructing itself in a different, more elaborate way, or combining itself with another simplex in order to make a more complex unified whole. This process, this very process, is what brought about every single material thing that has ever existed. And literally, you can vet that. You can check it against any scientist, any metaphysical teacher, any rational thinking human being, and they will only be able to confirm the validity of that statement. See, symbol is the encapsulation of energetic growth and the substance of that growth. In essence, it's the entire knowledge base, the wisdom, the collective experience of one point of consciousness crystallized into its clearest form so that it can be understood by the individual who is embodying it and communicated to others so they can begin to process it within their own matrix. What I'm attempting to do here is I've given you the substance, the materials for building. What I'm trying to give you now is the how of it. Not the how of how you can do it, but I mean the how of how the universe does it. If you choose to align yourself with universal construction patterns, then you'll have the full might of the universe backing you. So the reason why I'm expressing this is that, for one, it's the model that I use that works, well, the best for me. And also, the more versions of myself that I can help to cultivate this type of activation, manifestation, construction, the more that energy frequency becomes available on this planet, and the easier it is for me to access it. Let me explain what I mean. Think of it as popularity or fame. These are social concepts, social symbols that we've become conversant in. It's much easier to get things accomplished when you've attained a certain level of popularity. And it's not necessarily because you've changed as an individual, but rather the society or the collective organism has accepted as an individual that you can change things. So the frequency of your ability to change things grows, and you have a more fluid application within them. Well, the same thing is true of manifestation. The more that I can get people to understand that all of reality exists within the symbolic primarily, and then makes its way into density formation, the more available and easy it is for me to then access that frequency. Not necessarily because you condone me to, but because you condone yourself to. And anything that you extend to yourself, you by correlation, by necessity, extend to others. This brings us to a mental concept. See, the physical, tangible concept of symbols is that they exist in every facet of our life. Everything that we do, literally every activity, is encompassed within a symbol. There's either a symbol of affiliation, a symbol of action, a symbol of understanding. And let me put this in context so you can understand it. If you're a Christian, you fall under the symbol of being Christ-like. which is identified with as a symbol of the cross, which is a symbol of suffering, of more than that, martyrdom, giving yourself wholly and completely to that which you care about, regardless of what the actions of the other is. All of those symbolic, metaphoric concepts are translatable. I can then give that same story to you in symbol, and you can draw whatever meaning you want from it. But every action or activity within that sphere is governed by the nature of those symbols. A great example of this is Reiki. The entire practice of Reiki is dependent upon energetic, symbolic structures that you use to heal specific chakra imbalances, basically. I mean, they could say parts of the body, but that's not really it. See, the symbol, what it allows is for you to access the energy frequency that it is a part of. Remember that the energy frequency of a symbol is a pristine version of the whole of that subject. Meaning, if I show you a plus sign, you'll understand that it comes with a context. It's part of a mathematics system that allows for one thing to be added to the other. But the symbol in it of itself only represents a specific action of combining. This is what I mean. When you can start to understand the symbol, then you understand the innate frequency that went into making that symbol. But then you understand something even more profound and deep, which is that the creation of a symbol will bring you to the act of knowing anything intrinsically. I mean, as a facet of yourself. If you want to truly understand something, create a new version of symbolic structure that encapsulates everything that idea, that concept means to you. For instance, if you wanted to truly understand your body without holes bars, you look within your body and you say, what are you? How are you? Who are you? And then based on all of the feedback that you get, you combine it into a unified whole. You boil it down to its simplest version, and then you create lines and colors and circles and sequences that make up a symbol that represents everything that you know about that subject matter. Do that with your mind as well. Do it with your spirit. And then do it with outside information, with knowledge that you want to gain, whether it be knowledge of architectural structure, spiritual enlightenment, the molecular composition of elements, money. It doesn't matter how you use it. It doesn't matter the context. Once you understand the content of why we use symbols in the first place, how to go about creating them, no one is capable of determining how you use symbolic or knowledge-based information. This is for you to decide. This is precisely why you've incarnated in the first place. Because you, as the focused consciousness, can choose what symbols are in your environment. What symbols are in your inner environment, your mindscape, your physical makeup. What symbols are in your outer environment, your relationships and communions. And what symbols are in the world. This is literally for you to decide. And I don't mean because you're special, or rather because you're more or less special than anyone else. I mean because that is a facet of who you are. It's an inalienable truth. It cannot be divorced from who you are. It's part of your constitutional makeup. But the same is true of every version of yourself that ever existed. Every hydrogen atom is required to live the same symbolic lifestyle, where they are determining what is their construction on the inside, what is the interaction of that construction, and how does that construction relate to the whole? The reason why such a thing, such a concept becomes so powerful is because in a world that is in continuous mutation, evolution, fluctuation, the symbols exist as the most solid form of any matter. The most tangible form that anything exists as is a symbol. So understanding the process of constructing symbols, of deconstructing them, is understanding the very process of the outflow of the universe itself. When you can get to the point where you are conversant purely in symbolics, I mean energetic symbols, that's it. When you can converse in that, then you've reached a state of enlightenment where you understand what is in light. Anyway, this is what is displayed as ascendant thought. But truly, that is only the starting point. What I'm attempting to do is to bring the consciousness, elevate the consciousness into an equal playing field where the self-evident concepts, the inalienable truths, are the common operational parameter for everyone. Meaning everybody realizes, understands intrinsically it's all one being. That one being is a product of, let's say, an experiment, a hologram of the void. And that because of that, because of the intrinsic surreality of the reality, it is incumbent upon the individual point of consciousness to construct the reality that they themselves occupy. I am doing this. I mean, consciously I am doing it every single day. I'm bringing the symbols into my life that mean the most to me. And then I'm encouraging other people to find their own symbols that mean the most to them, so that we can combine those simple symbols in more complex ways. This brings us to a totality concept. I am you. You are me. Together, we are one in everything that has ever existed, in every form. People have said that anything that has come into existence was first a desire. Well, that's because the process for manifestation, the process for actually experience, period, starts in the intangible etheric realm as a perception or an awareness. If you choose to focus your consciousness on that perception and awareness, it expands and it becomes more solid. Then it might embody a symbol. And then if you choose to, through consistent focus on that symbol, you can bring it into this reality. This is the entire process of manifestation in the 3 easy, most tangible steps. This means, though, that if you can become, within your conscious mind, within your daily life, aware of the subtle emanations of the spiritual realm, of your own etheric essence, then you become absolute as to what manifests in your experiential reality. See, the truth of the matter is you are absolute in your experiential reality. You can either choose to participate in the entire process, or you can choose to abdicate it to some other point, to some other person, to some other form. It never, however, never divorces you from the reality of the absoluteness of your existence. You are everything that exists. Everything that exists flows through you. It comes through you. Be the conduit of the change, of the community that you want. Our world is growing. Be a part of it. I love you. Bye.